Okay, and we're live. Alrighty. So this is the next topic that we're working on. Yeah, it won't go for very long. It's only about 2 terms. Sorry, it's coming back. Sorry, it's only not 2 terms. 2 weeks. Only because we don't really need to actually go through every single thing with this topic. Yeah, it's and it's not necessarily that hard. I don't think so. We're not going to go in depth with a lot of this subject. Because it's not very long anyway, yeah, so quote unquote not too hard according to Jai, but it might be a bit hard, but that's all right, you'll get there. And these are, again, like I mentioned, these are the exercises that you'll be doing. So if you have your textbook, okay, this is what you'll be referring to for the questions, okay, and what you'll be doing. All right, there's not a lot, okay, well, I don't think it's a lot, but we'll get there. All right, so today what we're looking into is just a quick review on what we've done or what you may have learned maybe in the past with geometry. Okay, so if you're not already at this page, please flip along to that page with me. And what our aim today is to be able to solve equations with relations to angles and geometry. Okay, that's the aim. It's not too crazy. It's actually things that you've already done before. Okay. So solving equations with regards to angles and geometry. And we want you to, at the end of this session, okay, the main thing I actually want you to be able to do is express a geo problem in algebra. Okay, you might be thinking, what the heck does geometry and algebra have to do with anything together? Well, there is relations to it, okay? There's some connection there, okay? Now, here are some things that we need to keep in mind. A lot of angles that you ever work with in the real world, there's going to be, I would say, 3 types. Sorry, guys. 3 main types of angles. You're going to have 90-degree angles. Okay, you guys have seen 90 degrees before. Where did we see it in the previous topic? In triangles, right angle triangles. Yeah, you always see 90 degrees. Okay, and it's a right angle. So it's literally, it looks like this. It's a right angle. Normally you'll have a shape like that. And it's 90 degrees because each of these units here is broken down into, each degree counts for 1, and there's 90 of them. Okay, 90 degrees. So these angles that look like that always equal 90. Okay, the other one is 180 degrees. Whenever you think of 180, just think of a flat line. So you see a line like this, the angle here is 180. And the reason why is because if I put a line straight through the middle, there's 90 degrees there. And then what's over here as well, guys? 90. So what's 90 plus 90? 90. What? Math. Okay, good. 180, flat line. That's all it is. The other one, and it's not in here, but you guys may have known this. There's also a 270-degree angle, which accounts for 3/4. So that's 90 plus 90 plus 90 equals 270. But the other main one that we're going to look at is 360 degrees. So when you look at a 360-degree angle, it's a circle. Okay, and the reason being is because that's 90, that's 90, that's 90, that's 90. And if you calculate it, 90 times 4 is equal to 360. So you got 4 parts, 360. That's what it equals to. Now, putting that aside for now, there's specific names for each one of them. When we look at an angle that is 90 degrees, we refer to it as a complementary, sorry. So complementary equals 90 degrees. Okay, keep that in mind. Complementary, 90 degrees. Easy. Supplementary equals 180. Okay, so it's complementary 90, supplementary 180. Not too hard. 2 new words that you probably have never learnt about before. And the third one is a revolution, which is essentially a 360-degree angle. So we're looking at circles for that. So complementary, 1/4 or 90. Supplementary is 180 degrees. And revolution is a full circle, 360. Now the fourth one that is mentioned in there is a vertically opposite. Now when we're talking about vertically opposite, this is slightly different to what we talked about here. Just when you look at vertically opposites, what it means is if you look at a shape like this, and you've got 2 angles, okay, A and B, you can conclude that if they're actually both straight lines, so let's say this line is straight, oops, sorry, let's say that this line is straight and that line is straight, yeah? That means that this angle here which is opposite of this angle, are actually the same. Okay, and you can also conclude that this angle here and this angle are the same too. You don't know what they are, but they're opposite of one another. It's like a mirror. They're exactly the same angles. Okay, so those are two things. That's the other thing that we've got to consider. Yeah, so 3 words. Complementary means 90. Supplementary means 180. Revolution means 360. And then you've got your vertically opposite, which is opposite of one another. When you've got 2 lines that are straight, the angles opposite them are actually the same, and they're called vertically opposite. So when it comes to doing these sorts of questions, we need to use these 4. Let's see. We need to use all these 4 words to actually give reason as to why an angle is whatever it is. All right, so let's look at this angle here. Let's look at these ones. So this is how we do these. All right, let's see. Question 1, so A, just work along with this with me, yeah? So if you look at angle A and you want to figure out what it is, okay? Remember, when you have a flat line like this, all of this should equal how much? It's a 180. 180. What's the word for it? Look at your notes, yeah? Supplementary. Supplementary, okay? So what you would say here is that, and then this is how you would actually prove it algebraically. You would go A is equal, actually, let's go 70 plus A is equal to 180. Okay, start off with that. So you know that this angle plus this angle should equal 180 degrees. Now, if you haven't done algebra before, it's not that hard, yeah? All you have to do in this question, and we've kind of done a bit of it, yeah? Here, you have to isolate A, make it by itself. So, let's see. Chris, if I want to make A on its own, what am I moving here? Okay, here's the equal sign, yeah? On this side, I want to make A by itself. So what am I getting rid of here? 70, good. Now, think about this here. This is a plus 70, so if I put it over here, it becomes minus 70. It always becomes the opposite of it. Okay, so this becomes A equals 180 minus 70. So let's answer that. What is 180 take away 70? 110, good. Therefore, A has to be 110. And in terms of why and the reasoning is because, remember, this here should equal 180. And the word we used for an angle that equals 180 is up there, supplementary. And you just write supplementary. How do I spell that? 1p, okay. Oh, sorry, yeah, supplementary. That's all you got to write. So give me the answer and tell me why. So you know that A is supplementary with 70. Okay, what about B? B is a little bit easier. Okay, and here's the thing here with these questions, there could be 2 ways of doing it. Okay, Krish, can you tell me how can you prove what angle B would be, depending on what we've learnt already?
We have A.
Say that again?
We have A.
We have A, which is 110. So you can say that B is going to be a supplementary of A, yeah? What do you think B would be?
70.
It would be 70, yeah? So you could do the same working out here, but here's an easier way. What's happening here? What did I say about angles opposite of one another?
No.
It's a mirror. What's the word for it, my friend? Vertically opposite. So here, this is easy. All you can say, all you'd have to say actually is just this. B is equal to 70, and you'd say it's vertically opposite. Easy. Okay, because remember what we mentioned, yeah? If you got 2 straight lines, the angles opposite of one another are actually exactly the same. Okay, they should be the same. Just put degrees there to make it pretty. Okay, and that's degrees. Alright, not too hard. How are you guys finding that? Not too hard? It's pretty straightforward, yeah? Alright, let's try another one. Ooh, this one's a bit tricky. I'll zoom out a bit so you'll see. Question B, I'll just put a line here so we can differentiate that. Alright, question B. What's happening there, guys? Can you see any angles there that we may already know? Yes, Chris. We have a right angle, so what's the degrees for that, man?
130.
Well, that's 130, but what's this one? What's a right angle going to be? 90 degrees, good. So let's call that 90. Okay, and we're looking for angle A here. All right, angle A, which we do not know. Now, if you look at this, okay, can anyone tell me what should all three of these angles equal? 360. It should equal, thank you, Charlotte, and everyone else, 360. So, if we do this algebraically, we have to write it like this. A plus 90 plus 130 equals 360. Now we need to solve it to figure out what A is. So for this question, what I like to do, okay, and let's see if you guys can do this. I want to put 90 and 30 together first, yeah? So it's going to become this. What's 90 plus 130? 220, right? So A plus 220 equals 360. Now, this is exactly the same as what we had previously. So when I asked Chris before, I won't ask you again though, but when I asked him, I want to make the unknown by itself, so I've got to move something here. Tommy, what do I have to move to make A by itself? So I want to isolate this guy, make it on its own. So what am I moving?
What do you mean?
So I want to make this by itself, yeah? A. So out of these two values here, what do I need to get rid of?
225.
220. Sorry, it's not 225. Sorry, is my handwriting horrible? Sorry, man. Okay, so Alana, what do I do to get rid of it?
Subtract
Very good.
20 from 360.
Yeah, so you're going to get this guy. It's a plus. Whenever you move anything, it becomes its opposite. So it becomes minus 220. So solve that now. So A should then be 360 minus 220 should equal 100 and... Good. 140 degrees. And then
140 degrees.
140. Well done, Surya. So out of the four options that we have to prove it, what can we use? Are we going to use complementary? Not really. That's talking about 90-degree angles. Supplementary? Not really. What should we use, guys? Revolution, yeah? So we just write here revolution. Because it equals 360 degrees. Okay, just picking out of those three, which ones you got to use. All right, last one, nice and easy. Sorry, my handwriting's horrible. Looks like a pregnant lady. Okay. All right, here we're looking for angle A. Let's go the other side now. All right, Jai, can you tell me? Everyone can still see it, but what does this angle equal here? It is right angle. Very nice. So that should technically equal 90 degrees. So algebraically, I might ask Estevan, how can I write this algebraically? What would you write? Because you know that all of this should equal 90, so how can I write it like this? Do you want me to help you out, or you got it?
A plus 70 equals 90.
Oh, fantastic. I love it. Okay, good work, dude. So, from there, what do I do? Abby, can you tell me what's the next thing? Isolate A. What am I moving? Oh, 71, sorry. Minusing what, my friend? What am I minusing?
71.
Very nice. So, get rid of this guy. It's a plus. Here becomes minus. Let's see. 19. Okay, cool. Sorry, it is 71. Sorry, I have bad eyes. All right, so again, out of the four options we have, what do we use? Complementary, because it equals to 90 degrees.
That's great.
Well done. And that's the answer. All right. Do we get that, guys? Not too hard, yeah? It's just, I think the skill that you're learning here is just a little bit of algebra, which I know can be a bit scary. And then just solving things and then figuring out which option or how do we prove it. Just pick one of the options. So you've either got supplementary, complementary, or complementary, supplementary, revolution, or vertically opposite. Yeah, those are your four options. All right, what is next? I just want to see how far we're going to go with this, and then oh, it's a lot of notes. Okay, let's just do maybe a couple more, and then I'll get you to All right, next page is this one. Okay, angles in parallel lines. All right, let's look at this one here. So again, there's going to be a lot of new terms. We're going to learn in that's okay. All that matters is you actually have done the annotations and you can look back at it, yeah, because you're going to forget. So always look back at your notes here when you do these. So parallel lines. Anyone know what a parallel line is? How do you explain parallel lines? Yes?
Ladders.
Ladders? Okay, why are ladders parallel, Colin? Okay, let's look at a ladder. So this is Colin's ladder. The two sides never touch. Good. So these sides here on the ladder are parallel because they'll never ever touch. What kind of ladder would you want to climb if it was like this? Okay, well, it looks like a 3D ladder, but it's a bit dangerous to have a ladder that's like that, yeah? Most ladders are parallel. Okay, what else? How else can we explain parallel lines? So they never touch. What else? They're kind of opposite with one another, yeah? Because they never touch, they're opposites of one another. Okay, and obviously because, and the other thing that I'm going to add here, because they never touch, okay, and they're next to each other, one line is always parallel with the other line. Okay, when you talk about parallel, you can actually add more lines here. So a lot of the times these questions you'll have two lines. Sometimes though you'll probably have to add a third line. Yeah, so parallel lines are just essentially lines that are straight on with one another. So these three lines are parallel, but this red line here is not. Okay, but because it's not going in the same direction, but also it's touching the other lines. Yeah. And parallel lines are important because you can use them to actually find angles. I'm going to make a reference really quick to something we did in trig. Let me just have a look at this. So if you go back to trig and we look at some of the questions here, let's see. Let's see, where was it? Here, remember angulation?
Yep.
You're going to make reference back to these because what they did is they actually both used parallel lines as well. Do you guys see what's happening there? These lines are parallel, okay? And then you had an angle or a line that went there. And remember, we saw that an angle here of depression is actually the same as an angle of elevation there. That's what we're going to look back at again with these questions. Okay, so let's go back. Back to this. All right, so let's look at this. Alternate angles, okay? These angles are essentially the same. We look at an alternate. So Donovan mentioned opposite. They are opposite of one another, but based on that line there. Okay, there's no, I'm going to call this the transversal, but hopefully it doesn't stick to you guys because it's going to get confusing. But just know there's a line that cuts them in half, and opposite of one another, they're actually the same. So if you look at that angle, A, it's an alternate of angle B. Okay, so you got to look at that. Soon when you actually do these questions, you'll start to see patterns. So angle A and angle B are the same. We don't know what they are, but they are the same. The other one is corresponding. Corresponding is, so let's say you have that line, like that Donnie mentioned, that splits them. The angle here in A and B are actually also the same. Okay, they're exactly the same. And you can see that in a diagram. They're actually exactly the same angles. Okay. The third one is co-interior. When you look at co-interior, you're looking at the inside of those parallel lines and that line that cuts it. So those angles there always equal to 180. And the reason being is if you think about it, can anyone see this B angle? Where's the alternate for that guy? Opposite, well, the other side of A, which is here, which means that if you add these two together, it should equal 180. Yeah? So that means if that's A there and that's B there, they should also equal 180 because it's exactly the same as that angle there. Okay, so A and B are co-interior and they equal to 180 there. All right, let's do the last few algebra questions on this and then you can start working. Okay, so remember those three. You've got alternate angles, you've got corresponding angles, and co-interior angles. So it's the same as, similar to what we're doing here. We've got another three reasons to try and prove what an angle is. All right, so let's work on that here. Okay, here we go. Solve for the following pro numeral. So, which ones do you want to start with first, guys? A or B?
A.
Okay, let's do A. All right, A. Have a look at A. Yeah, you've got an angle there and an angle here. You can see that there's parallel lines over here. And there's also parallel lines there. Now, technically, if you think about it, angle A and angle 74, what should they equal, guys?
Same.
No, not the same. They're actually, if you think about it, they're like co-interior angles. You see that? That's a co-interior. It's inside. Yeah? So it equals 180. So that means A plus what, guys?
B.
74 plus 74.
B 74.
Huh? Is that it?
A plus 74 should equal 180. Well, we'll get there shortly, Colin. But A plus 74 equals 180. Let's solve it. Okay, get rid of that. It's a plus, so over here it becomes minus 74. So A should equal 106 degrees. And the reason was, it's co-interior. Is that how you spell co-interior? No, it's... Oops. Okay, it's a co-interior angle. Again, you can actually use a lot of different reasonings for this. Yeah, there's not necessarily one right answer, as long as you use the correct actual proof. All right, what else can we say, guys? So let's make this a bit trickier for you guys. Let's look for B. Okay, there's my parallel lines, and there's B. Okay, what can you say for B? Anybody? You can actually have multiple answers for it.
Isn't it co-interior as well?
Yeah, you would say it's co-interior, but let's actually do it. So B plus what? So remember, this guy here is going to be 106. So what are we going to say?
B plus 74.
Good. You can say B plus 74. Let's use blue. B plus 74 is equals to 180, and it's the same process. So you can get rid of that 74. Therefore, B is 106, and therefore it's also a co-interior. Okay, multiple ways of doing this. Doesn't have to be the one. I think what I've seen in the past is some people also even say, oh, it's vertically opposite of 74. That's also correct. I would accept it, but let me go there. All right, let's do question B. So we're looking for angle A and angle B there. All right. Let's go with let's do B first. Right, that's an easy one. Okay, let me have, who haven't I asked yet? Sienna, do you want to tell me what would you do for angle B? Algebraically, how would you do that? So how would you find what B is? Actually, maybe I'm going ahead. What should this all equal? It's 90, yeah? It's a right angle, yeah? So that means, algebraically, you'd be right. B plus 73 is equal to 90 degrees. Cool. It is very easy. Georgie, you want to give this a crack? That's right. Okay, that's all right. All good, all good. Let's see. Then, what's the next step from here? Isolate B, yeah? So what am I doing? It's a plus here, so when I move it to the other side, it becomes minus. So B is equal to 17 degrees. And you would write, was it supplementary or complementary? I can't even remember. I think, always look back at your notes, it's complementary. So you might forget. So we know that that is complementary.
For everything we get, we have to write as complementary.
Yeah, you got to write a reason. That's what they want in year 11 and 12. That's just what they do, man. So that's why you have this. Just look back at it. It's not that hard. Yes.
Would A also equal 17?
Yeah, technically, yeah. What would you say about that? Actually, instead of using our complementary and supplementary, what would we use out of these ones, Donnie, to prove that A is also good? Oh, actually, no, we would use alternate. You'd use alternate, sorry. Okay, so you'd say A is equal to 17, and you'd write alternate. Make sure you use the correct one. You can actually go with different ones. I could have said, 73 plus A plus the right angle equals 180. But yeah, we won't go that far. All right, last one, and then you guys can start working. This one here. Angle A and angle B. Ooh, let's look at A. Okay, I'm going to ask Celine. Angle A. What is angle A here? Can you tell me? Any idea? I'm going to give you a clue, okay? Not quite, my friend. Look at this. What is this guy? What is it? What's this? What's this? What does this mean?
That's 90.
It's a 90. That's a right angle. So that means, remember, what did we say about two lines when they cross? Opposite of one another? They're the same, yeah? So that means A should be? 90. And what's our reasoning? Vertically opposite. Okay, you got to have your reasoning in there. So we know that this angle is 90. Okay, what else? What else? What about for B? How would we do B, guys? What would you do for that one? Well, the whole thing equals 180. But what could you do for B?
180 minus 30.
90 take 30.
90 take 30. So, or gotta give me some more, man.
Would you do 90 plus 30?
Plus.
Plus 30.
Yeah, 90 plus 30, and then plus the B.
Plus B.
Okay, so tell me, what does that all equal? It's a triangle, yeah? 90 plus 30 plus B. We could actually use that. And it's technically not in there, but I'm going to call it and say that it's actually, it also makes sense. So you'd go 90 plus 30 plus the B. What should that equal? What do all triangles equal to, guys?
180.
Always 180. Okay. Yes, well, let's put this together first, Jai. So, Attila, what's 90 plus 30?
110.
120.
20.
120 plus B equals 180. And Krish, what do I do from here? I'm trying to isolate B, yeah? What am I moving?
120.
And it becomes minus. And as per Jai's answer, B does indeed equal 60. So what can we use as a reason for this? What would we use? It's a triangle. You can actually say triangle. Okay. Okay, all triangles equal 180 all the time. Okay, so the reasoning is very, very important with these questions, guys. Make sure you actually use them when you do these questions. All right, I'm going to stop talking now. How do I stop recording?
Shift Q, Windows key.
Is it? I don't know, man.
Good job.
Good job.
Very good job. You did good listening.
Shift Windows.